It gives me great pleasure to introduce a very special man. DeWayne McCulley comes to us from Rochester, New York, and it's so great to say he is not a diabetic. He is an ex-diabetic. He had a blood sugar level of 1,337. He was in a coma, and God was merciful. God was good. He also had a wonderful mother and a wonderful daughter who helped to bring him to where he is today. And he has written this marvelous book and has the DVD here that gives his story and gives you the blueprint of what to do to relieve yourself of diabetes. And we are epidemic level now with diabetes. And being an engineer, and also a Penn Stater at that, DeWayne was able to figure out what the real blueprint was for diabetes, which not too many people know. But he was given that wisdom, I believe, and today he is going to tell us how he beat this incredible illness. And I am delighted to introduce to you DeWayne McCulley. Welcome.
Take me back to 2 weeks ago when Sylvia, in the course of doing what we always do together, try to bring you the shows of the guests that she'll have at the Freedom of Choice group. And that's when the name of the gentleman first came to my attention that you're going to be hearing today. And at the time I didn't know, but I was to find out probably within 24 hours that, and I'll let him tell his own story, but the part I want to mention that he might not is that another engineer, confronted with a medical travesty, said, you know what, I don't think so. I'm going to figure this one out myself too. And in a rather a different way, but yet solving the problem, this engineer, I believe, has done it. I believe you need to hear that message, and that's the best preliminary I can give anybody coming up on stage. It really is a pleasure to have him here with us today. You'll be hearing a lot of good things about Mr. DeWayne McCulley in the near future. DeWayne, thanks for coming forward.
And back live with the Heart Show. On the lines, DeWayne McCulley, author of the great book, which I read, Death to Diabetes.
I went into a diabetic coma with a blood sugar level of 1,337. I was put on a drug protocol of insulin 4 times a day, Coumadin, blood thinner, and Lipitor for cholesterol.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you live?
Yeah. Gradually weaned myself off of insulin. Mm-hmm. I was taking 60 units a day.
Wow, that's a lot of insulin.
Yeah.
So basically you cured yourself from diabetes.
Yes. Yes. They don't like to use the word cured.
Well, you're cured basically, but still genetically diabetic. I am in a similar situation, but you definitely cured yourself from diabetes. You're genetically diabetic, but you took care of the hyperglycemia, the hyperinsulinemia, and it all had to do with losing the weight, which is very, very key. Yep. And you point that out very well in your book.
Just go to the website and try the protocol for free. Try it. Don't even buy the book. My publisher.
Oh, don't say that, man. That'll kill an interview. Oh, man, I got to teach you how to do an interview. No, buy the book. You got to be kidding, DeWayne.
Yeah, but they can go to the
My friend Rod Jones would die if he hears this interview. No, you buy the book. The book is a great book, Death to Diabetes. And by the way, please buy the book. Don't ever say don't buy the book. Go to the website, yes, but get the book. People want to have it in their hands. They want to read it. It's a lengthy book, I might say, but very well written. Okay, so let's do that. Yep. DeathToDiabetes.com and get the book. Well, anyway, you have a great story. You have a great book, DeWayne. I want to thank you for coming on.
Sure.
The website and book, DeathToDiabetes.com, and maybe we'll have you come back on again with a follow-up. So thanks very much.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce a very special young man, a young man that I believe God spared because he had a large job for him to do. When someone is at the brink of death and the Lord saves him, and it can only be God, because none of us are God here. We all know a little bit, but God is certainly the one and the only. DeWayne comes to us from Rochester, New York, but he's a Pennsylvania boy, and he's a Penn State guy, so yay from all the Penn Staters. DeWayne is by profession an engineer. He worked for Xerox, and in March of 2002, he was in a coma. He was dying, and I believe it was divine intervention, and a couple wonderful ladies. I always say behind every good man is a good woman. And DeWayne did have a couple wonderful ladies behind him. His precious mother, Minnie, his daughter, and she's here this evening. What's her name, DeWayne? Cynthia, would you like to stand? I'd like everybody to see the pretty daughter that DeWayne has. This is Cynthia. She's from our Pittsburgh area. Welcome, Cynthia. And your sister's name? Margot. Okay, and he also has a sister, Margot. Margot could not be with us this evening, but these three ladies, and with the hand of God, this is why DeWayne is here this evening. DeWayne had a blood sugar level of 1,337, so far off the chart that you can't even see it. He also had severe hypoglycemia. He had 2 blood clots. He was struggling with pneumonia, high cholesterol, and he was taking 4 insulin shots a day. That sounds like somebody's in some real trouble. And because of his engineering and biochemistry background, DeWayne was able to figure some real good figures out, and slowly and through, I'm sure, trial and error, he was able to come up with some formulation to figure out how to help himself. He also lost 30 pounds, and he has learned the secret. Learned it so well that now the medical doctors, when they have severe cases, they come and see him, and that's really saying something, because that's a real step down to a medical doctor. So he has much, much to tell, and thanks, Barbara. I apologize. Before I bring DeWayne to the podium, I would just like to ask a blessing on DeWayne and on each and every person here. Thank you. And I just thank you, DeWayne, for coming. It is a sincere pleasure that we bring you to the podium, and we welcome you. Pittsburgh welcomes you. And I will add, Dr. Courtney had DeWayne on his radio program this Monday. I'm sure many of you heard him. He was so deeply impressed with him that he has actually made a slot for DeWayne to come back, and he will be here on Saturday, May the 5th, at Dr. Courtney's conference out at the Holiday Inn at the airport. So we'll see him then too. So if anybody missed here, please invite them to come then. Thank you. DeWayne, we welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.